The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM, along with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
So it looks like we're going to have a white Christmas. Maybe.
I was going to say, you want to sing? Starting to look a lot like Christmas, isn't it?
But it's also supposed to get up to 50 degrees later next week.
Which is fantastic because, you know what? It still makes it really nice to get out there and show properties. And pretty soon it's going to start getting lighter longer. So got to focus on all the positive.
Yes. Spring starts in, 10 days, I think.
There you go. 21st, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 21st-er.
Coming right up. So, all right, let's talk about this weather. This weather, it's kind of crazy because one thing affects the next thing, right?
Sure.
And so with the warmer temperatures everywhere, the building process has not really slowed down, right? So people are still out there in full forces digging holes and building houses, even here in the northern states. So, of course, that keeps the demand for lumber up, right?
And it was already up.
So things had calmed down. I think back in the spring, they sell it by linear foot. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. And I think that it was up to, I think the highest, if I am right, was either 1,200 or 1,500 a linear foot. It was ridiculous.
It was close to
crazy.
It was close to 15.
Close to 15? Okay.
Yeah.
And then this summer, I know it got down to like 400, which was like really great because people were like, okay, good, it's coming back down. Things are going to become, and as lumber went down, other things went up. So it never got like, oh, yay, now prices are back to normal. But, there was at least a little bit of relief. But now prices of lumber are going back up because the unseasonably warm weather, which then in turn creates a robust buyer demand. And of course, there are tariffs for the lumber coming in from Canada. And then put all that together. And on Wednesday, lumber was back up to $949.30 a linear foot on the NASDAQ. So heading right back up there.
Yeah, and I read a really interesting article about the producers and how they're adding capacity, but they're adding it gradually because they don't want to get burned. Because 12 years ago, they put on all this excess capacity as the building boom was occurring, and then it collapsed on them.
Yeah.
And that it caused them to collapse as well. So those that survived that and are in that business are being a lot more cautious about adding capacity to produce more. They're doing it, but not doing it rapidly.
Right.
And that's having an impact on this, too.
Well, I mean, and then people are saying, well, okay, now lumber's good, but I understand that steel is going up and that tile is going up, and a lot of it has to do with being able to ship this stuff across the country and get it to where it has to go. So, I did find in my notes that the all-time price for lumber was back in May, where it was $1,550 per thousand board feet.
There it is.
Okay.
So we're still well below that, though.
Well below that, but they are predicting that by spring we might be back up to the $1,000.
Oh.
It's not good. But
I talked to somebody who's in the plumbing business too, and they said it's not due to the same problem with the lumber, but the piping that they use for a lot of running the water supply lines, apparently there's a whole bunch of it on a ship someplace that hasn't been able to offload. And so they're having difficulty even getting that sort of thing.
Right, yeah. So there's all those behind-the-scene things that we don't think about that cause, problems at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So bottom line is now's the time to buy a house, and because it's not going backward, right?
Right.
So actually, I have this article that says 2 reasons why waiting to buy a home will cost you. So It's exactly what I'm saying. One is, where will home prices be in a year from now? Again, they're not going to go backwards. They're not going to go up at that same crazy pace that they've been going up the last 2 years. But I'm going to guess in our market, you hear all kinds of different forecasts. Fannie Mae is saying overall home prices will go up 7.4% in the next year. Freddie Mac is saying 7%. Mortgage Bankers Association is saying 5%. I was just at a RE/MAX meeting this past week on Monday and Tuesday in Las Vegas for RE/MAX teams. And Nick Bailey, the president, was there, and he said that his prediction is we're going to see anywhere from a 5% increase to an 8% increase in most places, but still some places like Austin, Texas, and Scottsdale, Arizona, and a few of those other places that have been just booming are still going to see, 15 to 20% price increase year over year.
Wow.
I know, it's just crazy. But I'm thinking based on all the markers in our market that most homes are going to increase approximately 7.5% in our market. So I think we're still going to have a nice steady increase. So you buy it now, that's 7.5% cheaper than if you buy it next year. And of course, the interest rates are going to go up, and they're not going to just jump from where they're at now at 3%. They're not going to jump from 3 to 4, or they're not going to jump from 3 to 4.5. Even though, gosh, weren't there times, Andy, when 4 or 4.5 were like, sign me up, right? But I do think that by this time next year we will be probably around 3 3/4, probably like 3.75. So it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So let me just give you a little idea. Today, if you purchase a house for $353,900, that same house next year is going to cost $376,904. Okay, and that mortgage payment at 3% now versus 3.75% next year is going to go from $1,300 a month to $1,561. So it's $260 a month.
That's quite a bit.
It's quite a bit. I mean, $260 a month times 12 months. I mean, it adds up. So there is no reason to wait. Definitely the real estate market is fantastic. It is not a risk to spend your money on real estate. Probably now it's even a better investment than it's ever been, and it's traditionally always been a good investment. Are you still hearing from people who are waiting for somehow that magically the prices are going to drop? Yes, there are still people asking me when the bottom's going to fall out, and I loved that when we were at conference in Vegas this week, Nick Bailey said, "Are we in a real estate bubble?" And there were actually realtors in the room that said yes. And he's like, no, know your markets. We are not in a bubble. The bottom is not falling out. Prices are going to continue to rise, and interest rates are going to continue to rise. So right now we're as good as it gets, people. You compare it to when it was a real bubble. They're not similar at all. What's happening today Correct. Other than the prices going up. That's the only similarity. Yeah, exactly. And I think that people just what happens is they're just not equipped with enough information. They hear bits and pieces, and a lot of times I think people hear what they want to hear. Yeah. There's nothing there. Yeah, one of the speakers was giving a little story about he sent a banker out into the streets of New York City and said, "I want you to go and write down all the species of wildlife that you find." And then he took the wildlife guy and said, "Go out into the city and find as many wallets, coins, credit cards, anything to do with money." And when they came back, they both had found some things. And he asked the banker, "Did you find any money while you were out there?" And he said, "No, I didn't see any money." And he asked the wildlife guy, "What kind of species of wildlife did you see?" He said, "I didn't see any animals." And, the moral to his story was we find exactly what we are looking for,
Sure.
right? So the people who are looking for our articles or news reports or anything that say the bottom is going to come out, they take the bits and the pieces that they want to hear because they're sitting back with their cash waiting to buy all those foreclosures or whatever it is. But anyway, the truth is what is, and the real estate market is sound.
All right. We're talking with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE results this morning, and we'll be back in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Good morning. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results with us. I need some education from you, Robin.
All right.
What is a conforming loan?
Oh, yeah, because you've been reading about the limits being going up. Yeah, it's good. So basically there are, several different loan products out there we talk about, but normally if people are going in for conventional financing, that's a loan that's going to be sold off on the secondary market, by that bank. And so it has to meet certain guidelines, income ratio to your income to your debt ratio, your credit score, all those things. And then the limit amount, the loan limit has to be $417,000 or less to be qualify as a conforming loan. Now, if you get a loan for more than that, where the mortgage is higher than the 417, then it's oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought.
I know what it is. I saw it in the article. They called it a jumbo or something.
Jumbo loan. Yes, thank you. Yes, so it's a jumbo loan if it's above the 417. But because prices have been rising at such a fast pace, and then typically that jumbo loan has a higher interest rate, so they've decided to change the amount on the conforming loan, and they increased it not by a little but a lot. So from $417,000, it's going up to $647,000, and that is actually in about 95% of the U.S. counties. There are some counties where they've raised it up to just under $1 million because of the way their prices have gone up. Yeah, so it's going to help as far as interest rates, again, because paying the interest rates on the conforming loan versus the jumbo loan, it's going to be more affordable. So it's another great thing that's going on.
Is it easier to qualify for the conforming loan as well?
Yeah, I mean, basically the conforming loan and the jumbo loan, I think the big difference between the two of them are the amount of the mortgage. But the conforming loan is always harder to qualify for than, say, an FHA loan.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you have this, probably you don't know this, but I'm going to throw it out there. How long it has been since they raised the limit previously?
Well, in the 20 years that I've been in real estate, I've seen it raised. I mean, maybe there have been times where it's raised a little tiny bit, but I kind of seem to remember it being about $350, and then it inched up to $417, and now up to $647.
Wow.
So
okay.
Big jump.
Yeah, big jump.
Mm-hmm. And it might have been in the low threes when I first started. I can't really remember. Not when you first start, not too many of your clients are into the jumbo loans, so it was plenty. It was plenty.
And all of a sudden, now it's not at all. If you're to build a new home, you're going to need a jumbo loan.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really excited to hear about this because, as you know, my daughter and son-in-law are building, and so now it's like, okay, now your end loan has to be below the $647,200, and then you won't have to do a jumbo loan. So yeah, it's great.
And I bet it's going to be great news for quite a few people when you look at the way home prices are going up.
Correct. And it made sense that they did this because, you got to stay. It was becoming kind of a deal where the majority of the loans were going to have to be jumbo loan. So I think that was enough for them to figure out, this isn't exactly working. So something's going to have to give.
Changes are in the wind.
Exactly. So yeah, that's good. So lumber prices on their way back up. Interest rates slowly going up. Supply and demand, there's still lots of demand, still fewer houses than we want out there to sell. However, we are getting more and more. The now median days on market in our market is 26 days. So,
that's still a really, really short amount of time.
Oh my gosh. So the other day I was standing at the airport waiting for the bags to come off, and this lady was talking to this guy, and he was saying, yeah, I have a house to sell. She was no realtor. He was no realtor. They were having a conversation, and she goes, oh, you're so lucky. House is selling like 15 minutes now. I was like, oh boy. So yeah, 26 days, 15 minutes, whatever you want to say. It's still all really fast, and I think 26 days for median days in December in our market is fabulous.
Oh yeah, if you think of it that way, in the middle of winter, you're able to.
Fabulous.
I was thinking at the hottest point of the spring market when things were just going crazy. If I remember correctly, it was down to like 16 or 17 days.
Correct. Yeah, that is correct.
So you look at it that way, it's lengthened a little bit, but hardly any at all.
And I've heard you say more than once, geez, you sell your house too fast.
Yeah.
Then you're 30 days out till close. Well, my gosh,
I'm not ready for that.
If you sold it in the first day and now you've got 30 days to close, you've got 31 days to pack up your house and get yourself out. So that's why I tell everybody start right away. As a matter of fact, I do have a really helpful checklist for anyone that is planning to sell their house this winter.
Oh, great.
All right, so let's make it inviting, right? So you want to open your blinds and curtains because it's darker out in the winter, so you want to bring in the sunshine. Make sure all your light bulbs are working and leave the lights on. You know, if you're going to leave before the showing, brighten that house up, bring that sunshine in, whether it's from the light bulbs or the outside. Make sure if you have burnt out light bulbs, you replace them, and make sure all your light bulbs are the same color. I've gone into houses where, like in the bathroom, they'll have 4 lights and 2 are yellow and 1 is white and 1 is empty. It's just not real inviting. All right. And if you have something that's broken and it's something that's going to annoy people that it's broken, just get it fixed before you go on the market. And then just give every room kind of a purpose. So if there's a room that you're not using, make it look like the den or, whatever. Just give it a purpose so that when people come in, they're not saying, wonder what this room is for.
Oh, okay.
And I want you to always show that it's cared for. So things like your vents in your house, a lot of times people don't even look at them. And if you're at home and you look up and you're like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of dust there. I think if people see that, if they see the dirty windows or they see cobwebs, they get a feeling that you don't take care of your house. And then they're worried about, geez, have they maintained it over the years? Have they changed their furnace filter when they should have?
Yes.
Have they done the things they should have done? And if not, then, it makes people worried. Right?
Yeah, I can see that, right. It may not be true, but the perception of it is enough.
Right. And curb appeal is huge, guys. So obviously you're not going to go out and power wash in Minnesota in the winter, but keep the snow shoveled away from the front door and your walk shoveled. And Christmas is kind of a tricky thing. Don't overextend it. Nobody wants to come look at your house in February with your Christmas lights still on, and your neighbors really don't love it that much either. So, be in tune to that, and tidy up as much as you can, and freshen up your entryway. Sweep off that patio. Have something inviting, whether it's a nice winter pot or whatever, so people are standing out there. Because those little things still matter. You want to make your house look as good as it can, even though it's winter time. All
right, great advice. So we'll take a quick break and return with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results this morning. We've been talking about the current marketplace, not really specifically Rochester, but you have any information about what's happening right now locally?
I sure do. Houses have been selling. In the last 6 months, we have closed 1,335 homes, and there are another 197 pending. So, 1,500, over 1,500 homes sold in the last 6 months. And we currently have 179 active homes for sale.
All right. That's not a ton.
It's not a ton. The majority of them are going to be, well, let's see. We have 5 under 100. We have 14 between 100 and 200. Between 2 and 300, there are 29. Between 3 and 400, there are 33. Between 4 and 500, there are 27. So looks like, the majority of them are above 300,000. And we've got 45 of them below 300,000.
Okay.
So, there are homes out there. And the good news is, don't get too discouraged, because every day there are new listings coming on the market. Okay. The average sale price, or actually the average availability price right now is $471. So that just speaks to what we just said, that most of the houses most of the houses that are on the market are above that conforming loan limit, right?
Even here.
So even here, yes. So basically, houses are still available. They're going to continue to become available. So watch that. And a lot of times people don't know where the best place is to watch for new listings. So they'll call me and say, should I watch on Zillow or Realtor.com or your website? And will they all have the same information? The best thing to do really is to have an agent set up a portal for you so that you can give us the guidelines of what you're looking for. And instead of you having to spend time going onto any site and checking, we'll have it so that it captures anything that fits your criteria and automatically emails it to you the minute it hits the market. So
Perfect.
It's really the right way to do it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that says, I'm ready to jump in and start looking, see what's available, and it doesn't mean that you're even ready to buy right now. You might just want to start to test the waters and get a feel for, what can I get for $300,000 these days? And so we can just set that up in a couple of minutes and have those come to your email. And I think it's just a really helpful tool for buyers.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That is slick, is what that is.
Yeah. So we can do that for you in just a couple of minutes' time. Very
Just think
easy.
of the old days when you had to wait for some publication to have the
Oh, my
listings
gosh.
or drive all over the place. And now you just wait for the email to come.
Things have changed so much since I've been in real estate, and that's just 21 years. And so, again, I was at this conference, and they say, show of hands for the people that can remember selling real estate out of a catalog. And I literally was one that had to raise my hand. I can remember doing this job without a cell phone. We had a car phone in a bag that you could use when you were in the car, but, you couldn't walk around. Now we use our cell phone to access the house, for Pete's sakes. So things have changed tremendously, for sure. And I think I'm pretty excited, because everything I heard, I've been going that direction. So, Brian Buffini is a very well-known name in the real estate world. He's a longtime realtor, very successful, who became a real estate coach. So he has Buffini Success Coaching. And he said, well, luckily, you people are here because you're either running a team, you're on a team, or you're planning to join a team, because listen to me when I tell you, real estate teams are the wave of the future. And, I've talked about that before, and it makes sense, because in this world that we live in, where everything is so instant, and we're competing for houses, they're going really fast. You get the email saying, there's this house right here in this neighborhood that I love. I know the neighborhood. It's in my price range. I want to see it as soon as possible. Well, if you have an agent that doesn't have a team, and that agent is busy with one of their other clients, or they're at a conference, so now they're completely out of town, it's tough, but if you're working with somebody that's part of a team, the answer is always yes. We have somebody available because one of the members of the team will definitely be there to help you on your schedule,
Sure.
when it works for you. So, we pride ourselves in covering for each other and having each other's backs and always being there when our clients need us. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And you also have that great administrative squad on your side as well that's there to help keep things moving along.
And you know what one of the other speakers talked about? If you are starting a team, the best and most valuable hire you can have is a good admin. And I'm like, and we don't have one, we have 4 awesome admin. So we are very, very fortunate. Yes, but you're right, because it makes the client's whole transaction just go seamless. When I get reviews or thank you notes praising me for my job or one of the agents on the team for their job, almost always those reviews or thank you notes include our admin and say your entire team, including your admin or especially your admin or your admin people, were just fabulous. They made it just a seamless procedure. It's so, so very key. And, they talk about, well, some people say, I can't afford to hire an admin. Well, if you want to deliver service at a certain level, that's the only way you can do it. So you can't be afraid to spend money to make money. And I think if you're really concerned about the overall customer experience that you're creating, then it's an absolute must to have a team and to have the admin, to have the full-on staff.
Okay, so if you want to take advantage of that admin team at Gwaltney Group or the team itself, or you, Robin, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. We would love to help. So feel free to call my cell phone anytime. And that number is 507-259-4926. And we will be happy to help you any way we can.
Well, great. Robin, thanks so much. Have a great week.
Thanks. You too.
All right. We'll talk next Saturday on News Talk 1340, KROC AM at 96.9 FM. It's Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group-RE results.